You don't put your hand on no woman, okay? Especially not me, because I'm gonna kill you, okay? I've killed people for less, okay? For less. Stop playing. Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. My name is Maddie. I post new Sims content every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. And today we have got some new Realm of Magic stuff to get into. As you can see, we've completed our aspiration. But just because we've completed this does not mean we are completely finished. So we have some other things to dive into, so stick around for that. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, or if you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments down below. Leave me a like and subscribe, as once again I do post content 3 times a week. We're about to get into it. So first things first, we want to open up that spell book to see exactly what we need to work on. So we're missing a practical magic spell, 5 of the untamed magic spells, and we're missing 3 potions. Essentially, we're potion recipes. So we're going to get all of those things first and then move into our next little section. So once we get our final practical magic spell, it is Home Wardial, which of course is very practical. It sends you to the magic realm, which isn't even necessary if you have the Glimmerstone anyway. So I mean, I guess if you sell or get rid of the Glimmerstone, then you have another way to get home or back to the magical realm. So here's where things start to get a little wicked. Obviously, we have to do a little bit of running around to these different sages or to these different professors to learn about their specific type of magic that they teach. However, you can't learn spells back to back from the same sage, so you have to like give it some time or whatnot. And of course, once you do that with all the sages, they're all not gonna, teach you a spell for a little bit, obviously. So you're gonna have to find some way to fill your time, right? So yeah, that's what I'm doing. And I had dueled like one person before dueling her, but it was like a while ago. And when I say a while ago, like it was before I started learning these new spells from them, right? So when I lose this, because as y'all can see, I'm not winning this clearly. So when I lose this, it tells me that I am cursed again. Elsie Slater got the curse of unwarranted hostility from losing too many duels. And then all of a sudden, this dude comes up and tussles with me. Y'all, I had to pause. I was like, what is happening right now? So I'm like, okay, let me just check this out. Because the people just think they're going to be running up on me everywhere I go, talking about you want to fight me because I've been losing? Like, what? Like, all of a sudden, this just makes people want to fight me. And then for it to be a man was crazy. And then, y'all, it gets even better. Because after I whoop him, okay, because I don't know what he thought this was. Because I whooped him, point blank in the period. After I whooped him, someone else then comes up. Another man. To try and test his luck. And I'm just like, bro. And at that point, I'm going 2 for 2. It was absolute. Look, I didn't even get in the scuffle ball. It was just so random. Look at that. Like, it was like he's pulling my hair and everything. Like, what is wrong with y'all? And she getting down and dirty in them weeds. Okay? We all fighting apart and shit. And honestly, y'all should know me by now. Y'all should know I'm not going to take anything lying down. So, my first thing to do was to set both of these men on fire. You hear me? Burnt to a crisp. Because why is you playing with me? I don't care what kind of curse I've got. You don't put your hand on no woman. Okay? Especially not me. Because I'm going to kill you. Okay? I've killed people for less. Okay? For less. Stop playing. And here I am just watching my nice sorcery at work. Because why would you ever try me in your life like that? And then of course after that I do drink a potion to get rid of that curse like I did the last one. However, I just wish I would stop losing. Like, I don't know why I'm losing so much. It's so annoying. So with us drinking that potion, we shouldn't have anybody else trying to scuffle with us. Because, that was a little outrageous. I can't lie. Like, I was not expecting that. I don't even know what other curses there are. But fact is, I really don't want to find out. Because I really don't want to have to kill, like, 90% of the sim population. Like, I really don't. So, I just want them to leave me alone at this point in time. And just let me be a good spellcaster. Let me be a good sorcerer. Let me be a good witch. Okay? Leave me alone. And of course, we have some new sentiments with somebody, and I wonder who that could be. Of course, it's Daryl. Grudging after a fight. Elsie sentiments. Elsie and Daryl have some unfinished business. This conflict is unresolved. Tensions are high from Elsie, at least from Elsie's point of view. And then he's just furious, but I'm sure because he lost the fucking fight that he started. Anyway, and really, how dare I show my face anywhere? Sir, you're lucky you're even still breathing around me, okay? And something funny for you guys, I just learned that I am meningitis immune, malaria immune, and tuberculosis immune. So, good for me, you know? I won't have those big illnesses to deal with at any point in time. That comes from a different health mod. If you guys are interested in me doing a video on that, let me know. And now back to cleaning up our alchemy. So we learned one new potion, which is prompt resurrection, which means we can bring somebody back to life if they had just passed. Instead of like bringing a ghost back to their regular form, you'd bring basically like if they just died back, you'd resurrect them. So let's get into these familiars. This is Penny. Penny is what you may call a voodoo doll, or I don't know any other kind of phrase for those, but they are familiars, and familiars are these little pets you keep around you that keep you confident and protect you from death, and nobody knows why, but they're super helpful, so that way when you have your magical overcharges and things of that nature, you won't die. You'll just, be a little burnt, a little stank. But so far I've collected 5 of them, and they're all different, of course. I don't want to have the same familiars. So Miko is like a demon bunny butterfly thing, because he's got nice butterfly wings but red eyes, and he's clearly a flying bunny. I think he's so cute, and they all interact with you in different ways. Of course, they're not having full-blown conversations with you, but they are, giving you helpful tips whenever you're dueling. They're encouraging you, and sometimes they're even an asshole to you, like the one that I gained here shortly. He was a little mean when I lost one of my duels. So I mean, it just kind of depends. And then, so that's Miko. And then Kilmer is like a pig plant bat. I don't know. He's got like bat-shaped wings, but his ears and wings are made out of like plants. And he's got a pig snout. So, yeah. I don't really know what kind of animals these are. But they are very whimsical creatures. They're very interesting, to say the least. Elsie's familiar fills her with confidence. Familiar make your magic more potent and offer protection from death that is still not fully understood. So they do nothing but help you. So I literally keep a familiar on me at all times because I don't want to randomly die. So our next familiar is Darkwing. He is a raven. He actually does not talk a whole bunch, if at all. He does say a little something here and there, but he really doesn't talk much. He only really gives emotes during battles or when you're learning spells or potions and things of that nature. So he doesn't really talk much, and whenever you get a new familiar, it'll tell you basically a little bit about them when you get them. But yeah, he doesn't really talk all that much, and I kind of like that. I don't need anybody making fun of me when I lose. Even though he has given me a thumbs down during a duel before. But I mean, I've given myself a thumbs down as well. At least it wasn't like verbal disappointment. That's a little bit worse, I feel like. So I just went to go duel to see if I could get some interaction out of him to kind of show you guys how they interact with you, or well, how Mr. Darkwing interacts with you while you're participating in a duel. Hopefully I don't lose, because if I do, he'll probably give me a thumbs down. He didn't say much this duel because it wasn't a clear cut, like, I wasn't just whooping her from the beginning. She whooped up on me. I just finished it out, essentially. But you can see him kind of do his little happy bird dance, like, yeah, she did that. But yeah, he's the more quiet of the familiars. So if you want something that's not really going to talk back to you a whole bunch, I'd get Darkwing and I'd keep him on me. So after getting into my next duel, I ended up getting another familiar, which is great. And Darkwing actually had a message for me. So instead of him just giving me like a thumbs up or a little heart, he gave me a little message and he did his little happy dance. So I have one familiar orb of the Veiled, and then he says, nice dueling, you showed them. However, if you want somebody who's really like opinionated or likes to talk, Penny likes to talk, and Veiled here, he likes to talk as well whenever I pop him out of his orb and bind him to me. The Veiled is a void critter, deep with the knowledge of countless galaxies across space and time. No one really knows the true motivation of this critter, but that didn't stop one well-known kids' TV shows from almost featuring the Veiled as a main character. So obviously, with us getting a new familiar, you know I gotta try it out, okay? Do they do something different? No, but they look different and they interact with you differently, so I just wanted to see what Mr. Amos looks like, you know, outside of just this little skull picture I'm getting. And I love that he appears on this little floating cloud. Like, he is the absolute cutest. Look at that. But he's an asshole from time to time, y'all. But there are 11 familiars you can collect through your time in the realm of magic. I'm up to 6, so we're over 50% of the way there to reaching all of our familiars, but not all the way there just yet. And I ended up seeing the other dude that wanted to pounce on me, you know, that got whooped up second. Anyway, so I challenged him to a heated duel because I just wanted to see, like, what's all the hype about, right? And let me tell you something. I was absolutely ecstatic to get in this duel with him because fact was, you couldn't beat me, like, physically in the real mortal world. So we'll see if you can beat me, you know, in the magic realm. And unfortunately, he did, y'all. I was like, there's just no way. And I'm one of the most powerful spellcasters out here right now. There's like literally no way that this has happened. But yeah, he definitely beat me, and I did not take that lightly, so I burnt him to a crisp again. Because who you thought you was beating for real? Because it wasn't me. You could have this little dub, but let me tell you something. I still whooped you. Okay? Without magic. Let's not forget that. And then on top of that, I burnt you up twice. So the only thing with these spells are, like, if I set somebody on fire, I want them to die. Like, I don't want them to just be burnt. You know what I'm saying? Like, you need to be gone. Tombstone, ashes, Grim Reaper coming. Like, it needs to be, yeah. But anyway, that just made me feel better because, yeah, you thought you were doing something and you weren't. Next. And I found it even better that I stood there laughing at him while he burnt up. Now back to our calm insanity. So I've collected 3 wooden brooms over my course of duels and winning and things of that nature. 2 of which are the same. I got a magic mop, y'all. I don't want to ride around on no mop. I like to have something a little fancy. But she, I guess, changes them out. I don't know. I see her on a different broom every time. But you can assign which broom you want to use, like always. Like, similar to if you were to get different wands, you can choose whether you want to use the wand or use a specific wand every time you duel, or it'll just, you know, kind of just alternate in your inventory when you go to duel. And the faces your sim gets to make in when they're experimenting at the little the cauldron is so funny to me. But experimenting also does help raise your experience a lot, just with that one interaction, because they do it for some time. And sometimes you'll get ingredients out of it, other times you won't, and it's just, you know, for experience. But it's a win-win, to be honest. So, like, I didn't get anything out of that other than experience. But the next time I do it, I get, like, valerian root and things of that nature. So it just kind of depends. And at this point, I've got 3 training points to use in this very moment. So I'm trying to decide who it is I want to be. Do I want to be a master duelist, or, you know, do I want to have a whole bunch of knowledge? I don't necessarily know, but it'll have to be something for sure that's good. So obviously, I don't want to be anybody's mentor. I don't care to mentor anybody. That really doesn't matter to me. Neither do the 50% discounts because, hello, motherload. So just picking stuff that makes sense, that obviously, you know, only this would be able to help with, so that makes sense. So Tame the Untamable, definitely a must. And then Incredible Forager, you could. I ended up taking that away because I didn't want it. Because honestly, it really didn't matter to me that much. And then I did go ahead and get the charge control so that I could be hexproof. Because, like I said, I'm over the curses. I'm not willing to get another curse. You hear me? But that did get me to thinking as to why I'm maybe losing so much. And I think it has to do with maybe my magical charge and it being so low. I'm not really sure, but I just built it up a little bit and challenged this girl to a duel to see if maybe that had something to do with it. Because, I mean, I think that makes sense, right? and she ended up spanking me. So I'm guessing this does have to do with my magical charge, at least a little bit, because it's not even halfway full. And yeah, so I think it's just, you know, I'm probably weaker in this moment, but it really doesn't make sense, because if you have too much charge, like, you're gonna explode. If you have too little, you're not gonna win. So like, it's just it's tedious. But if you get your familiar, and if you become hex proof, you really don't have to worry about you becoming like overcharged anymore. While yes, it'll still explode, it'll still, you know, fry you to bits, but you won't die, and there's no like curse or anything that happens to you. It'll just basically, it drained it itself when you should have drained it, if that makes sense. But I mean, as long as I win the duel, I really don't care. And I know I touched on that health mod a little bit, but you'll also get notifications like this to say, you know, visit your general practitioner, because it's time for your wellness checkup and things of that nature. So I like that it implements like a level of realism there. But at this point, I'm just trying to duel for artifacts, because I would really like a wand that I don't have to pay for, and plus gain experience all at the same time. Which, if you duel for artifacts, you can get brooms, wands, sometimes even spells. Or well, no, you get spells if you duel for knowledge. But I win finally, and you know, everything's back, everything's good as new, and I got a wand. And then I go ahead and equip it, because, you know, that's really what makes, you know, a spellcaster. I feel like, you know, the wand, the broom, it gives witch, it gives sorcery. And here's what I mean when I say your familiars will communicate with you through emotes. So like, see, he's happy with what I've done in this duel, and he'll probably congratulate me after this duel as well, because, you know, and he does his little happy dance. He says, now that was a duel. See, they boost you up. But let me show y'all something, okay? Just how they boost you up, they'll take your ass right back the fuck down, I'm telling you. But before we get there, we learn a new untamed magic spell called Decursify, which would have been helpful to me in all my curses before I was hexproof. But you know what? I guess I can maybe free somebody else from curses. I don't know. I'm going to be the curse saver now. So as I purposefully start this duel as I am supercharged up, Amos decides to tell me that he feels the energies of the stars and the skies just swirling uncontrollably. I need to beware of my magical bubble. So I'm sure, as you can imagine, I ended up bursting into flames. Yeah, I had an overload, and she just and looks all dirty and grimy now. But she didn't die, you know? Thank you, Amos. We just need a shower, that's all. And we have Scrubberoo, so we don't actually need to take a shower. We can just do that spell on ourselves, and we're back to where we started. And we still have a good bit of little energy left over, so that we're not losing duels right out the gate. But I'd also like to point out that my sim is an adrenaline junkie and absolutely loves that she has overloaded with magical power. After my overload, I went back to experimenting, and I ranked up, and Amos tells me you reached a new spellcaster rank. Good job. So thank you, Amos, and it wouldn't be without you, because otherwise I'd be dead. So even though you complete the aspiration, you can still level yourself up to get more training points, so you can end up buying the whole Magic Realm perks if you wanted to do that. And obviously you can keep growing stronger as a spellcaster. So y'all met my bow in the last video, okay? Not very proud of it, but that's who she likes. We're going with it. Anyway, so I have a couple of orbs from some familiars that I already currently have, so I don't need two of the same familiar. So my thought process was, I'm just gonna gift my bow a familiar, because I see he's walking around with that one, right? So I go to give him his gift, y'all. And I have, you know, this ungrateful man literally opens the box, and he's like, ugh, why would you do such a thing? Why would you get me such a thing? Like, damn, Brody, I'm trying to help you in your magical realm. Like, if you want to die from your magic overload, then you just die then, you unappreciative bastard. And then, I mean, I should have expected it, because he does have a dastardly trait, so he is just an asshole. But my sim likes him, so I guess she just wants to be Miss Asshole. I don't know. And let's just take a pause to see how dope this is, y'all. I stopped this mid-game, because I was like, I did not even know 4 people could be dueling. Obviously, they're not all dueling each other. It's 1 versus 1. But they're all dueling at the same time, and I thought that shit was so dope. And since I've previously leveled up, that means I have gained a training point. So that means I am now a magical resonance, okay? Extremely powerful, not to be fucked with, okay? Your girl, the biggest Okay. Obviously, with me becoming a magical resonance, I was like, I definitely can beat the sages now. Like, I have to be able to beat them now. There's just like no way I can't beat them, right? So, you know, I go to the first sage I see and I'm like, hey, you want to tussle, girlfriend? Let's tussle. Let's see who really got that magic thing. And this duel was actually longer than I thought. There was a whole lot of blocking and everything. But at the end of the day, I finally did it. I beat one of the sages, which means I end up getting something super cool, which is a crystal zoomer. It's not something that is going to be in your inventory. It literally just zooms around you. I don't even know how you take that on or off, or if you're able to. I wouldn't even want to take it off because y'all need to know I got this from beating that sage. Like, y'all need to know I'm one of the best of the best. You hear me? And unprompted, look who she got on her mind. The next sage. We ready to beat her too. we is on our winning streak, babe. We gonna get it done. But before I got to her, we ended up getting in a duel with this guy first, and he just completely obliterates my winning streak. Like, I don't understand what happens, how this happens. I don't get it. And then this is what I mean when I say your familiars will be an asshole. Like, he just made it so much worse than like me just losing out the gate. For him to say, Yawn, was that a duel or just dull? Your loss was foretold before you even began. Wow, you couldn't have told me that before I said, yeah, let's duel, dude. Had you whispered in my ear like, you're not gonna win. Don't duel. I wouldn't have did it. But you didn't say anything, you stink fucker. This critter literally just told me he could see into the future, okay? But didn't give me the access to said future. Like, whose side are you on right now? So now I'm like, I've got to get my winning streak back up. Like, I can't go out like that and I'm trying to battle the sages after I just lost to a fucking newbie. I'm not doing it. Luckily, shorty right here wasn't a hard task. I just put her on her back and that's a wrap. But, you know, I still don't feel good. Like, I still feel like I just came off a really high from beating a sage to the lowest of lows. You know, like, I just feel like it was all just taken away from me. But it's okay. We have to stay positive and look toward the future. We are now learning a new spell, Chillio, from the Untamed magic teacher, which obviously just makes the sim cold. Really cold, like frostbite cold. However, I'm always one to test my luck, so since I'm already up here standing with the next sage, might as well go ahead and get this duel out the way. Let's see if I can get it done for some artifacts. And y'all, I can't lie. Out the gate, she was doomed. Out the gate, like, this was raps.
Wavius! Baribius!
Yeah, she was done for. She didn't get one good hit in. It was a wrap from the beginning. That was a really good duel. But I got a classic broom from there. And then, of course, I had an overcharge. And, yeah, that happens to me quite frequently because I'm only powerful. Like, I'm only just steadily winning when my bubble is damn near about to burst. I don't get it, but whatever. Nothing a little scrubberoo can't fix. And I'm so confused how she get mad at her own stank. Like, she smell like, oh my god, I'm so offended for my own odor. Like, that made no sense. And as y'all can see now, when she does her spells and when she's brewing potions and stuff, her eyes return yellow now, as well as having that little, like, you know, star thing go around her as well. So I think that's so cool. And after I went to experiment a little bit, but I happened to see Daryl standing in the same room as me, making me a little tense and uncomfortable. So I just went ahead and asked him to a heated duel so we can just kind of get that out the way. Look how badly my words just messed up his aura, his whole demeanor. Now he's stomping and angry. Yeah, let's go get this duel out the way, bud. And I'm just going to spare y'all the details of this duel. It did not work out in my favor. I don't know why, honestly. I was actually quite confused. But anyway, I ended up zapping him up anyway because you thought you were doing something like the last dude and you're not. So let me just show you what my magic really do. Let me just show you what it really do, boo. And I can't stand when I cast a spell on somebody and like there's bystanders and they're like, oh my god. And then obviously like negatively affects our friendship. Like, girl, I don't care about our friendship. I used you to learn magic. Get out my face. So with that being said, I want to duel her as well. I mean, it was coming anyway since I dueled the other two sages and won. And almost is telling me power is complemented by restraint. Use your charge responsibly. Yada yada. Sir, you see everybody beating up on me. Why I can't do the same? Huh? Hello? Alright then. So I'm going to use it the way I want to use it. And if you don't like it, I'm going to put you back in your bubble and you will stay there for the rest of your time. And long story short, I put the work on her too. So that is 3 for 3 for Maddie. Or I'm sorry, 3 for 3 for Elsie. Okay. And I got 70 simoleons for being a worthy opponent. So you get 70 for being a worthy opponent to a sage and 50 for being a worthy opponent just to another spellcaster. And I just went ahead and discharged myself so I wouldn't, you know, blow up again. And this wasn't necessary for me to show you guys, but I just really wanted to show you guys because I think she looks so cool. Because I haven't seen anybody else's eyes do this, because I'm sure they haven't whooped no sages before. Okay, the biggest. She looks great. I'm so happy for her. And seeing as I'm so close to the next rank, I go out, get me some orbs to absorb them, to get a little bit of experience to go ahead and level up officially. And of course, Amos tells me, you've reached a new rank. Can't wait to see the spells you learn next. Don't you worry, Amos, because we got 2 big ones coming. But first, with our new rank comes a new training point, of course. So we want to become a master caster. We don't want any fails, and we need everything to succeed. So I went to the Untamed Magic Sage to learn those 2 spells that classify themselves as Untamed Magic. However, it dawned on me that those 2 spells aren't from the Realm of Magic pack. If you read them, Nudelio, Promiscuoso, it's giving Wicked Whims. So what that means is we have to figure out how to earn or how to gain those spells without our teachers, because they don't teach those spells. So you have 2 options. You can either search the library for tombs, or you can go buy the tombs from Caster Alley. Obviously, what do we need to search for when we can just go buy them? So we're going to head over to Caster Alley to buy them. So if you don't know where Caster Alley is, it's literally that floating island where that broken bridge is, and you'll literally either you can transport there or you can fly by broom. I just chose to fly by broom. And of course, when you land, you're going to want to click on this old, like, torn down magical shop. Right, there's a ghost working the counter. But it allows you to buy tombs, wands, familiars that are common. And, you know, there are many different tombs you can purchase, but obviously I'd only need the Nudelio and the Promiscuoso tomb, and we'll sit down and study those in order to gain that spell. And so immediately we find the nearest bench, and we get to reading that bad boy because we need to learn all we can. Although it doesn't look like she reading nothing, flipping 2, 3, 4 pages at a time. Girl, you did not read all of that fast. But as she's learning, she gets to going through the motions of how she's going to twirl her wand and cast the spell and everything. It's cute. Love it. She's like, yeah, I got it. I can do that. Next page. And so when she finishes, it says, impressive. Your knowledge of spellcasting grows deeper. And then, of course, we have discovered a new spell, Nudelio, which changes the sim into an overjoyed naturist. And so, of course, now we're moving on to our Promiscuoso spell, and we've learned it, so yay us. So we have finally learned all the spells there is to know, all the potions there is to know. So now all we have to do is wreak some havoc. But yeah, Promiscuoso makes the sim urgently chase their desires of sexual tension. So I'm guessing that just means they'll go have sex promptly. I'm not quite sure. I don't know if I plan to use it, but we will see in the near future, shall we? So that is all I have for you guys today in terms of the Realm of Magic. I just took my sim back home, you know, let her decompress. She's had a long, like, 2 weeks of magical study, to be honest. It's been like 2.5 weeks since I've actually, like, been home. And if y'all like how I designed this house, this is a starter home that I just remodeled. So if y'all like this house, y'all can visit my page. There is a tutorial of how I made it. And I just wanted like a ranch styled house, so that's what I ended up making. And I do share it with this guy named Rowan that I created when we first got into the game. However, me and Rowan are not currently on the best of terms. He didn't like that I rejected him on so many occasions, I guess. I don't know. But fact is, I'm about to move his ass out and into another starter home that he deserves to live in, because I did all the work to this house. And yeah, you're not going to be walking around giving me attitude in a house that I built. So bye, Rowan. And he's blessed enough that I left him with $20,000, like how you would normally start out if you were on your own. So he's very blessed, and I put him in, you know, a nice house across the street. Well, definitely not as nice as mine, but it's a house across the street. So I hope he lives his best life over there, and I can now put a queen bed in my master bedroom instead of 2 twin beds side by side looking like a queen bed, because we couldn't share beds because we weren't together. Anyway, hope to see you guys in my next videos. Once again, I do post new updates of sim content every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern time. Please like, subscribe, leave me a comment, and I will see you guys back here for another round of vlog with Mad Dog. Have a great evening, y'all.